I've been running from the pain, trying not to feel the same, but it's a shame that we miss again. See, my confidence is shaking and my heart is feeling vacant, so you try to fill it in. You said I could fix the broken in your heart.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are Maths Angel from class JCS 141D and we will be presenting our group project under course MAT123 Foundation of Geometry, which is Geometry application in real life. First of all, I'm going to talk about our first case, which is onigiri. So let's see the history of onigiri. Onigiri, also called nigirimeshi or omusubi, popular Japanese snack consisting of a ball or cone of rice, often with a filling and wrapped in nori, which is seaweed. In the Heian period, rice was made into small rectangular shape known as tonjiki, so that they could be peeled into a plate and easily eaten. At that time, onigiri was called tonjiki and was often consumed at outdoor picnic lunch. In Murasaki Shikibu 11th century diary, Murasaki Shikibu Nikki is one of the Japanese novelists. She writes of people eating tonjiki rice ball. Other than that, other writings dating back as far as the 7th century state that many samurai stored rice balls wrapped in bamboo shades as a quick lunchtime meal during the war. From the Kamakura period to the early Edo period, onigiri was used as a quick meal. This made sense as cooks simply had to think about making enough onigiri and did not have to concern themselves with serving. Onigiri was simply balls of rice flavored with salt. Nori did not become widely available until the Genroku era of the mid-Edo period, when the farming of nori and fashioning it into shapes became widespread. The properties of onigiri. As we all know, people nowadays always buy onigiri as a meal. It is because onigiri is easy to make and easy to carry. In addition, onigiri can gain money. People can make small business sell onigiri on an online platform such as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I need to share the ingredients that we need to make onigiri. First and foremost, we need to have rice. We must use Japanese sushi rice. Secondly, furikake. Furikake is Japanese seasoning that usually sprinkles over cooked rice. Thirdly, we must have nori, which is flat seaweed wrapper and is also used to wrap sushi. There are some tips for making onigiri and onigiri filling. 1. Use freshly cooked rice to make onigiri. It's a small thing, but it makes a difference. It is easy to mold the onigiri, and the warm steam from the rice softens the seaweed. 2. Feel free to be creative with onigiri fillings. There are no rules. Chicken or thinly sliced beef sound delicious and may be a popular ingredient in Western countries. 3. Japanese ingredients can be found at Asian or Japanese supermarket or sourced online. Otherwise, use ingredients that are accessible to you, because onigiri fillings can be adapted to suit you and your taste. 4. Keep a small bowl of water beside you and lightly wet your hands now and then. This will prevent the rice from sticking to your hands and make it easy to shape the onigiri. Or you can use plastic wrap and leave them this way to take the onigiri on the go.
Next, we have 5 types of onigiri. First and foremost, onigirazu. Secondly, we have hijiki gohan. Thirdly, we have yaki onigiri. Fourthly, we have sekihan. And lastly, we have okaka, or we call as bonito flag. Then, shape of use, we use triangle, prism, and rectangle. Next, size of onigiri, we have 2 sizes, rectangle and also triangle. So the rectangle one, we have base. The base is 4 cm and the lid is 8 cm. Triangle, we have the base 10 cm, the height is 6.24 cm, and lastly the slant height is 8 cm. Next, rectangle, how we want to count the perimeter and the area. Perimeter 8 cm plus 8 cm plus 4 cm plus 4 cm, and we got 24 cm. The area 8 times 4 cm, and we get 32 cm square. Next, we want to count the perimeter and the area of triangle. The perimeter 8 cm plus 8 cm plus 10 cm, and we got 26 cm. Next, the area of triangle, we use 3 types of formula. Number 1, 1/2 AC sin x. 1/2 times 10 times 8 sin 51.26. We got 31.20 cm square. Next, 1/2 BH. 1/2 times 10 times 6.24, and we got 31.20 cm square. 1. Heron's formula. A plus B plus C over 2 to get the S, and then 8 plus 8 plus 10 over 2, we got 13 cm. Then, how to get the area? S times S divided by A times S divided by B times S divided by C. So, as we can see, 13 times 13 divided by 8 times 13 divided by 8 and times 13 divided by 10. Total that we got, and we square root, and we got 31.22 cm square. Lastly, the prism. The perimeter of base is 8 cm plus 8 cm plus 10 cm, and we got 26 cm. Next, the area of base. 1 over 2 times 10 cm times 6.24 cm, and we got 31.2 cm square. Next, the height of prism is 4 cm. Surface area of prism is 2b plus ph, and we got 2 times 31.2 plus 26 times 4, and we got 166.4 cm square. Lastly, the volume of prism. The volume of prism is base area times height, 31.2 cm times 4 cm, and we got 124.8 cm cube.
For this group assessments, Guangzhou Circle was the building that we have chosen. Why did we choose this building instead of another? It's because this building was unique, elegant, and totally stunning in our eyes. Without wasting any time, let me present our group assessment. We will be starting with the history of the building. You guys might have been wondering who designed this building. It was Joseph Di Pasquale. He was born in 1968 in Como, Italy. Yes, he is an Italian, the birthplace of the other great architecture. This building has consumed roughly 1 billion yen in investment and development. The structure is situated on the Pearl River's bank near the city's southwestern edge. Now, we will continue with about the design. Di Pasquale claimed to be aiming for a design based on Oriental psychology and perceptions, and he was inspired by the way the Chinese using logographic characters. A notable ancient royal emblem of a Chinese dynasty that ruled over this region about 2,000 years ago is the double jade disc, or known as by disc. This figure also relates to the number 8 and the infinity sign, which in Chinese culture are highly regarded. The structure also draws inspiration from the quadratura del cerchio, a concept from the Italian Renaissance, or known as squaring the circles. The inner area is made orthogonal and habitable by the suspended group of stories that are contained and supported by the 2 circular facades.
Next, uses of Guangzhou Circle. It is the headquarters of Guangdong Hongdang Xinyan Group. Other than that, the venue of GDPE, Guangdong Plastic Exchange, that the world's largest stock exchange for raw plastic material with more than 40 billion euros for annual turnover. Application of geometry in Guangzhou Circle. Guangzhou Circle has similar shape like a circle and torus. We use the measurement as shown below to calculate volume and surface area. The height is 146.6 meter, width 33 meter, radius 73.3 meter and 23.5 meter.
Next, I'll be explaining on how to calculate the surface area. So there's front, back, and sides of the building. And most of this I already multiplied by 2 since the front and the back have the same measurement. So let's start from the bottom to the top. I'll be explaining on how to calculate based on the shape. So the first shape that we have at the bottom is
a small rectangle, and then we have a bigger rectangle, a triangle, and then a big sector of a circle, and then a small circle in the middle. So let's start with the small rectangle at the bottom, which is 2 times length times height, and it is 2 times 85.3 times 8 plus with 2 times length times height, which is also a rectangle, 2 times 100.64 times 12 plus a triangle, 2 times half times 164 times 53.3. 53.3 you can get from 23.5 plus 29.8. And then you can plus with the big sector, which is 2 times x out of 360 times pi times capital R square. Capital R is the radius of the bigger circle, and the regular R is the radius for the smaller circle. So x is 273.3, and you can get that from 360 minus with the angle of the triangle. So 2 times 273.3 out of 360 times pi times 73.3 square, and minus with the circle in the middle, is 2 times pi times 23.5 square. And then we'll get to the sides, which is the bottom one is 33 times 85.3. 33 is the width of it. So plus with 2 times 33 times 8, which is the sides of the small rectangle, plus with 2 times 33 times 7.67, which you can get from 164 minus 85.3 divided by 2. And you'll get 7.67. So plus with 2 times 33 times 12, which is the sides of the bigger rectangle, plus with 273.3 out of 360 times 2 times pi times width, which is 33, and then times with the added amount of the bigger radius and the small radius, since you want to find the sides of the circle, the big circle and the small circle. So 73.3 plus 23.5. So the total of it is 51,196.4 meters square. So now I'll be explaining on how to calculate the volume. So basically volume is you have to find the surface area of the front of the building times with the width. So let's find the area first. The first area that we're going to find is the small rectangle at the bottom, which is length times height, 85.3 times 8 plus 100.64 times 12, which is the bigger rectangle, plus the triangle, half times 100.64 times 53.3, plus the bigger sector, which is 273.3 out of 360 times pi times 73.3 square, minus with the middle circle, which is pi times 23.5 square. And then we can multiply with 33, which is the width. And the total that you'll get is 516,646.44 meter cube.
So the first conclusion that we can make is geometry is utilized in audiovisual presentation in a variety of contexts, including teaching and entertainment. One of the most common uses of geometry in daily life that we might take into consideration is in computer graphics.
Next, geometry is an essential branch of mathematics and ancient science. Not only that, geometry is used in a variety of fields, including art, measurement, and building.
In geometry, we learn about different angles, shape, and measurements. The basics of geometry depends on majorly point, lines, and angles.